Psychic Fair, and this is Rise of the Technomage. And so this is going as part of the classes that are part of the All Access Pass, or you can buy classes individually at the Halloween Psychic Fair, where we're going to have some great speakers this week. We will have Stephanie Neal doing Quick Start Tarot tonight. Tomorrow we have the live quiz show as well as the Ouija board debates. Very exciting with RJ. And then on Thursday we have the amazing and wonderful Byron Ballard and Phil Farber, all on the same night, Black Brain Magic and Appalachian Ghost Stories. So those are some of the classes, and we'll be doing more transmissions throughout the day. So welcome to the Halloween Psychic Fair, and let me go ahead. This is the Rise of the Technomage. I am Ed the Pagan Hubbard, and I'm a known Technomage. And so let us go ahead and explain what a Technomage is. So a Technomage is very simply, a magic user or a magician, a person who believes in magic or being a magician, or in any way the ability to make their will known to the universe and have their environment respond to you in a favorable way, is a magician. A techno-magician works on being able to create magic utilizing magical tools of computer net and everything else. You got to understand how incredibly amazing this is, that we take sand and heat and glass, we run intelligent electricity through it, and we've discovered it has an entire universe in there called cyberspace, internet, and it makes everything so useful. And then we have glass, thin as a hair, transmitting this across the world. Sure, it's carried from different places, called fiber optics, but it's glass. And then it finally goes to major transmitters, which I find very interesting, and that it begins a process of being sent out wirelessly. That is the internet. And then you have satellites who are beaming it from space and back and again. So we've constantly seen this growth of the spectrum. And I think that it is a fascinating, truly fascinating subject, and one that I've practiced. So inside this, we're going to take a very small piece of it tonight. So we're going to give you some practical and useful information that all of you can use. So we're talking about a digital aura, and I'm going to offer you a way to build a form of a digital aura so that you can utilize it to practice. So in a sense, what is a digital aura? Well, what is an aura? An aura is the energy streams that come off of you that are picked up and are visible to people around the world. And also, it is also part of the Akashic records, where they transmit all that you know to those records and back again. Isn't that interesting? That's what it is. And the idea is that you can go into this place, and now we see it as books. I wonder what other people looked at it earlier times. Was it cave paintings? Were we looking at how did we read these books when we were more primitive? Well, today those books are now PDFs, electronics. And we've got a better sense of that the Akashic record is merely an information system in our spiritual world. Yes, the Akashic records are a medium of information where our spirits can enter. Today, the closest thing we have is the beginnings of Google and other search engines who are putting all this information, the huge libraries of information and databases that we're so heading into what we call the telecosm. And what is a telecosm? What happens? And no one really knows the answer to this. What happens when you have unlimited bandwidth? I know some of you have a phone. Unlimited processing speed, meaning computers can process anything that you want them to do, right? Unlimited and unlimited. Yeah, so you have that unlimited band speed, and then finally, of course, unlimited memory. So there it is: unlimited bandwidth, unlimited memory, unlimited processing. What does the universe look like? We're now starting to learn, and it is a magical, magical place. So when people ask me all the time, well, what do you mean cyberspace is psychic space? What is clairvoyance but the ability to see through any camera on the planet? Clairvoyance is the ability to see at a distance and know things. So clairaudience is the ability to hear things from outside sources. And on the internet is the ability to hear from any microphone. Clairsentient is to be able to answer any question at any time through the psychic means. And what is clairsentient on the internet, but a Google search away. So your digital aura lives in this environment of a telecosm, of the internet, of cyberspace. And it's all the information that you're projecting out there that people can see. And through your digital aura is where your influence grows, your vulnerabilities grows, and everything else. So influencers have an incredible digital aura that people want to be attracted to and gain following. It is both magical in the sense that they're able to produce content and ideology that wants them to do so. But in this day and age, instead of going through a gatekeeper, having to go through television, print magazines or print materials, or radio and radio stations, which were very small and had gatekeepers, they can transmit directly through systems directly to their audience. So their ability to influence people is much more direct now. You see that on Facebook, TikTok. This very transmission is an example of digital magic. It's called social broadcasting. That would not be possible even 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. And there are even more elements today that wasn't even possible a year ago that exist. So technology is disruptive and growing very quickly. And Technomage lives in the environment of that digital aura. So where does your digital aura begin? It begins the minute your free will enters the interface of cyberspace. And it's usually by signing up to an internet service. First step. So without an internet connection, you can't get anywhere. So that is one of the things that a Technomage learns to deal with and ability to gain it. So they gain a sense, and you can almost feel it mentally. You can feel it mentally, and awareness of it, of where transmissions go. It isn't enough that you have a transmission house. The house that I am, we have a cable into the house, and then we wirelessly send it all over the house, and we have it protected and passworded. But that's where the beginning of it is. That's my transmitter. But also when we're out on the world, I have my cell phone has an unlimited bandwidth as well, and it does 5G. And I don't want to hear about all the negatives about 5G. 5G is amazing. And if it burns us alive, so be it. Humans do that all the stupid time. There's something always burning us alive. But if it's not, so then you have that. So that has that wireless. But in the past, I've had to become very aware of Wi-Fi at Starbucks, where Wi-Fi is, where is your connections, where phone modems is. So the first thing a Technomage needs to do is be able to access the internet when they want to. And the more they can access the internet, the more power they accrue in their digital aura. So the very next step that they tend to do is set up an email account. If they want to do it for free, Gmail has become the winner, but AOL still does it. Yahoo does it. MSN, companies, there's all sorts of places to get an email. But the minute that you get that email, right, it begins your identity. And for me, that was a very simple story. So I'm known as Ed the Pagan, and my first email was edthepagan@aol.com. I have it to this day. And it helped really set my digital aura because now everybody knew me. And because they could read my name and they knew they could see me out of a list of other people who had Monkey Butt 747. Yeah, I knew Monkey Butt 477@aol.com. I did. And if he's still there, yeah, I think he's actually a pilot. Lots of different ways. But the email address that you primarily use is going to be your set base. So when I began to rebuild my digital aura, once I started realizing what I did, I decided to go to the master account to begin the process. gmail.com. So I'm edthepagan@gmail.com is how you start your, it's my first space that I really want to work from. Now I have lots and lots and lots of old information. I'll talk about that, but you begin that. And then you say, okay, what can you do then next? It says, well, the thing that a Technomage has is that they can gather attention and to be able to grab the attention of others, but also provide their attention to anywhere they want to begin this ability to acquire massive amounts of information. So the next thing you do is that you set up your Facebook page. Now, I know most of you, if you've already here, have a Facebook page to deal with. So that's kind of cool and everything else. And so you can go ahead and begin setting up a page. So that's already attached to it. And if it's attached to your primary email, even better. And the other thing that it does, it allows you to set up a YouTube account. A Gmail goes into it. It allows you to set up a Gmail account, allows you to set up automatically a whole set of tools, including, and not limited to, YouTube, analytic skills, ability to advertise, and a drive. All of it given to you for free for right now. And that's the first things you have. So you can get on and transmit this amazing set of pictures that you want to do. There's a large amount of voices. And then you go on Facebook, and 2.8 billion people are already on it, and it's rising fast. So you have an ability to communicate. People say, oh, it's toxic and everything else. This is a free environment where you can contact up to 2.8 billion people at any given time. And they say, oh, this is just terrible. There's no way to get it. No, so there is. A true Technomage knows how to get through the noise. And I'm going to be proving it all month. It's the HalloweenPsychicFair.com. Absolutely. And we're going to share a lot of information, and we're going to do a lot of great things. And so, yay. And we're going to show you that there's this constant, that Facebook is useful and everything else. Everything's useful. But don't complain because it's free. Don't complain if you don't want to use it, don't use it. But don't complain about what they give you for free and what you have to buy. I am talking about setting your digital aura so that you can get your message out, gain this attention, and give attention so that you can always access more and more information. Do the same for Twitter. So you take my account. So Ed the Pagan is my account. Go a step further. I have my Facebook account, which has an Ed the Pagan page. And I have a Twitter account, twitter.com. People say, oh, what's good is Twitter? Twitter is a very important tool in that you have the ability to communicate. And it's really great for contact and having deep conversations. And there are so many major people on there, and you have the right to DM them directly. Now, some will block it, but a lot of them won't. And you can call out and get attention. I've used it a number of times, and people have called my attention to things. So it's much more about contact and having a conversation that is very rapid. So then Twitter is there. TikTok, can't tell you how to explain. 1.25 million witches in a couple of months. TikTok is on go. It's 1 minute excerpts. It's almost like the hieroglyphics or the blip verse of our community. But remember, people say, oh, it's just a minute long or less than that. They're just doing dances and they're just doing music. Remember, we started out with only 410 characters on Facebook and 140 characters on Twitter. So these things expand, and getting on an early present gives you huge leverage. Right now, the smart Technomages and Techno Witches are all on TikTok trying to grab as many followers while it's organic and free. Organic. You can't even really buy advertising as an average person yet. Not like Facebook, not like YouTube, not like Google search. And so that is important. Okay, now the next step is so you get your Facebook, and then there's Instagram. Get that too, of course. And there's Snapchat and some others. At that point, you can go out into the world and get whatever you want. I will find, I'm on MeWe, and every time I find a new system, I go ahead and reset my name, Ed the Pagan, into every one of these services. And so that I have protected that so that anyone can identify me. So my digital aura is that I can go, ha, ha, ha. How do you get a hold of me? Oh, I'm Ed the Pagan everywhere. And it sets a very powerful statement saying that my aura is out there, and so will yours. So now you have your beginnings. So if you want to project out there, Blog Talk Radio and a lot of these radio services like Anchor, podcasting, will give you time for free. A small amount of time, but for free. Anchor gives you a lot of time for free. So you can go out and buy the podcast, or you can buy other services. And how simple is doing podcasts? All you have to do is have a telephone on Blog Talk Radio and a browser, and you can do that. And then you can do it. And we did over 10 years, and we're still doing podcasting through Blog Talk Radio for Pagans Tonight Radio and Witch School. Okay. So you've gotten that sort of thing. And you got your YouTube for your visual transmission. So now you go, okay, I've got all these things to project my message. What else should I do? Well, the one step, if you have not already lost your name, because remember, only one person is going to get this. I didn't get it because Ed Hubbard, because there was an Ed Hubbard in radio who already took it. But if you can get your name.com, remember, no one else can get it if you get it. Buying .com names or .us or buying names is buying language. So I own edthepagan.com. Actually, most people don't know it. I also own teampagans.com, American Witchcraft, traditional witchcraft. I own lots of pagan words and things like that. I own a lot of language through my tradition and through my businesses and through my people. So I love that sort of thing. I think we have Millennial Witch. I think we have that one. But you buy your name. So I bought edthepagan.com. And if you want to see all of the things that I'm hooked up to, go to social.edthepagan.com. Isn't that amazing? And so you've gotten that. So you're putting your digital aura together. Now remember, every time you enter your name into a space, along with your password, with any sort of data information, it begins to set a traction. So you want to know what it is that. So you can go up and look your name up into Google to see how big or where your aura is and how much you want to control. So now through these tools, and now there's also lots and lots of free tools, so you can sign it up. And the more of these tools that you have that you can then transmit. So this is all about gathering attention. So now you've got your system in place and you can decide what message or what type of technology you want to pursue. And this is a very simple choice, but it's a very personal choice. What is it that you're talking about? Now, for me, my job, and what have I done as a technomage? My job is to take the tools of the internet, and I build ontological devices to help bring people closer to their gods. And more importantly, I like to create events and spaces inside cyberspace, which I believe in. I want to create sort of these wonderful spaces inside cyberspace, such as witchschool.com, which has now been there for 20 years, which acts as a school online and saves me all the money that I couldn't spend. Remember, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made since I started my technomaging is kind of going out and trying to build physical things. I will tell you, I will regret nothing I've done, but man, I learned so many lessons from doing that. And so then we had a 7-day-a-week radio station that we still have today. We built a channel for a production company that was able to issue direct to the consumer through YouTube videos that we do today. We have millions of hits. I mean, just over the years, we've done that. I've had some failures too. I had tarotcollege.com failed. I got one bite of the apple, but nobody wanted a tarot college. So it was too simple. They wanted more personalized training. The Daily Spell newspaper, again, 1999 was one of the first projects. We went from a print magazine to a near daily or daily online email system through one list. Then it became e-groups. Then it became Yahoo groups. Yeah. And we bought a lot. We acquired a lot of names for free. So for most of the 2000s, right up into the early 2010s, we used email as one of our primary communication systems for free. Remember, a lot of the stuff is for free, or you can buy your services. And so we did that. And so we had a newspaper called the Daily Spell from 1998. So you can build a newsletter. So you have to figure out what it is that you want to create. So if I can create a school and I can create a radio station, which we had so many people help us. We had hundreds of people over the years help us. Cooperation, attention, attraction. And I loved every person to it. We've done thousands and thousands of videos now to create our digital aura. So powerful is our digital aura is that we're now going to take somebody known as Reverend Don Lewis, Lord Don, Chancellor of the Correllian tradition, and we're working quietly to acquire all of his digital imprint. And what it's going to do, it's going to be turned into an AI system so that he can answer questions long into the future. That's right. Within about 2 to 3 years, Lord Don will be created into an AI object because he's done so many videos that have answered so many questions. He has so much material, written material. He has so many interviews he's done with psychics. He has so much material that is now recorded for permanency. We can feed that into an AI. Remember, everything that you have ever recorded on the internet exists somewhere, probably. There is no guarantee any of this will remain if they burn the medium. So this is very important, but I'll talk about that. And I will probably talk about that at Heckaday Sickle Festival, which I'm going to be talking about the Technomage, Rise of the Technomage, and that one's going to be a little different. None of the speeches, if you see Rise of the Technomage, trust me, there'll never be the same speech twice in the sense of I'm adapting it for each audience because I can specialize and customize And I don't want you guys to think, oh yeah, I've seen that one already, been there, done that. One of the ways I need to keep your attention is by changing up my message. And you need to do that too. And so for people asking, well, if you're into business or if you're into getting this attention, what to do? Produce content. And I mean, I don't care if you're producing 60%, 70%, 60 pieces of content a day, just a piece of content, a meme, or one post in one medium. So right now we are social broadcasting, and I'm creating a wonderful content. We're producing wonderful content across the internet, and that we're seeing this miracle happen. And so not only are you watching, if you're able to join us and you've bought an all access pass or amongst us, and you can take it, and we're offering, remember, use the code 50 off, go sign up right now at Halloween Psychic Fair for that purpose. And you'll have a great chance to access so many people, and you'll be a part of this new Technomage creation. Because if I can build all of those things, this month I'm building a Halloween Psychic Fair to give income to individuals, to provide money for a food grant program, and to also entertain and give people what they really need spiritually and energetically. And so that is a really important part of what we're doing. So this is now what it is. So you have to get it. So remember, I'm going to go through it one more time. Get your digital orders together. And once you get it, you can start creating your message. And once you're able to create your message, create content that fits your message, I can help you out with more of that. I'll bring more of that techno magic. But the first thing you need to do is buy your way onto the internet. You've already done that most likely here. Or remember where to access the internet at any time. Remember that a Technomage's number one duty is to find the access points to the internet. 2, get an email address or a central identity point. And the best place to do that is at gmail.com, because they give you access to YouTube and Google Drive and a number of other tools to create it. I own Ed the Pagan, so you can contact me at edthepagan@gmail.com. And you begin your process from there. Then you create your Facebook page if you need attention. Remember, it's all about deriving and gaining attention, because a mage can gain attention enough of the right people so they can ask any question into the world. So you've got that. So Facebook, you sign up. If you already got an account and you're trying to rebuild an image, say you want to become Joe the Psychic. There actually is a Joe the Psychic. Sorry, Joe. You can go out and begin to create that sort of thing. And test the names against each one of these before. Then you add your Twitter, you add your TikTok, if you haven't done it already, add your LinkedIn. LinkedIn has become amazing. It's a great place to get to professionals. You want to be in all these streams because you want to be able to communicate with these people. And so that you can do MeWe, you can do a lot of other ones from it. But those are right now, and Instagram, but those are the core right now. Those are the hot ones that will build you some attention. But more importantly, create a channel back to anybody you want to communicate. You are not more than 2 or 3 degrees away from anybody. We used to talk about the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And this game you play with anybody. The 6 degrees of Don Lewis, 6 degrees of me. But today, the 6 degrees between me and anybody is almost very unlikely. I could probably get to people, and I have a number of times, in 2 to 3 people at most. And because the internet takes away a lot of middlemen, I just go directly to them. Think about this. So Technomages set up relationships that they can go to people where we once had to fill out and network and go through good middlemen. The Technomage's number one duty is to realize the middleman is gone. Very important. There is no middleman. They're trying to reemerge, such as Amazon with third-grade producers or things. But ultimately, you can go to your customer. And the difference between success and non-success at this is really talent. What it is that you're trying to transmit, how well you transmit your spaces. No one can tell you any longer not to transmit your message. And so that was something really fantastic, really terrific to do. And so we were able to do that. So, okay, so you've got that sort of heightened energy there. You're going to make a list of all the spaces that you're on, and then you're going to go ahead and Google yourself and find out where you're at. But you've got that. Now you're going to go ahead and start projecting your aura out there. Just as you go in the world and say, oh, I want to be bright and energetic, you need to start setting your message, whatever it is. You have to decide what your online digital aura is going to be. Now, mine is Ed the Pagan, but it is also known, I think of him known, so I will give you an exact sample if you want to find me. The 3 things I'm most known for: buildingwishschool.com. Number 1 thing I'm known for. 2, I'm known a lot for basically asking questions. If people who know me ask me what does that do more than anything else, he asks questions. And 3, that I love coffee, and in fact, I'm a coffee pusher. So these are the 3 facts you find out about me. But you can also find out there are people who hate me. You can find out a lot of stuff about me. And that at some point here, all of this will consolidate. And eventually, at some point in the future, somebody wants to summon me in the future. They will be able to use a system, basically an AI system or something similar, to rebuild my personality online. That's how important your digital aura is. And it's very, very important to you, not only in this life. If you leave it vulnerable, somebody will try to steal it. Just like a vampire will steal energy from you, hackers will steal your identity. There are vampires in the internet world, just like there are in the magical world. And so that is how we put our digital aura together. For those people who are in the classroom, thank you for listening to our transmission here at the Halloween Psychic Fair. Come out, check us out, check out our vendors, check out everything. We're doing it. And so in that, HalloweenPsychicFair.com, get an all-access pass. At 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to be talking to Stephanie Neal, and she's going to do Quick Start Tarot. Tomorrow, we will have my game show, the quiz show, Halloween quiz show, see how smart you are. Come out and check it out. And then we're going to have the Ouija board debates. Do you believe in Ouija boards? Do you like Ouija boards? Do you hate Ouija boards? We are going to have people discuss it. On Thursday night, we are going to have a double header. We are going to have Byron Ballard doing Appalachian Ghost Stories and Phil Farber, Brain Magic. And if you get a pass and can't attend at both, all of these are taped and you'll be able to go back and watch them almost immediately. So this is something great. And then on Friday, we have Lord Don's Hot Horror Show, and we have a great number of great psychics. Check it out. And today, I see Silas Mamur, who's a great psychic out there. Go out and check it out and have the energy out there. So with that, have a great evening. And I will be answering the questions in the class. If you were here in the class, I could answer your questions, but thank you very much. Join us, HalloweenPsychicFair.com. This is going to be a really fun month.